Vagina.
That gets edited out. Hello, everybody.
Vulva. Not Volvo. That's a different thing.
I'm just wondering if the subtitles will pick that up.
What, Volvo?
Yes, hopefully they will just pick up because YouTube watch the subtitles. So yeah, that's how they judge if you're fit. And
If you're advertiser friendly.
I'm not with you around, am I? Everyone else, yes, fine. You no.
Look, we're going to end up swearing horrendously anyway.
I mean, yes, that is a thing that is happening.
I mean, this is a game about magical rapists.
True. The amount of times we mentioned rape in this, I'm not going to get monetized here.
Well, anything that has this game in it shouldn't be monetized by those rules because it's the content of the game.
Yes, but we didn't have to mention the fact that they were magical rapists.
I mean, they've been avoiding the R word, even though it looms over everything like a colossus.
It's not a colossus. It's a giant. Slightly smaller. Anyway, hello.
Hello.
We're here with Damien.
Damien.
Damien. What, Damien? Okay, let's get into it before I choke someone. I couldn't stop staring at Damien's... Oh, God, I remember why we stopped. Couldn't stop staring at Damien's smile. Something about him was just completely, I don't know, charming. His eyes had a mixture of happiness and a small bit of yearning.
Oh, God.
I've got another game that involves a succubus that I want to play on channel at some point.
It's just the other side of this.
It's the other side of the magical rapists. Soon, though, Damien stood up and reached a hand down to me, breaking my silent thoughts, because he hit my head in with a hammer. And they weren't that silent, because he's a fucking mind reader.
Can't remember what the voice I was doing, so I'll just make one up. Come on, we need to keep cleaning.
I slowly nodded before standing and continuing to clean alongside him.
Cleany, cleany, clean.
That is the song we sing. Hour of the house party had arrived. In my
mind.
Oh.
They're doing the abusive house party. Yeah.
Yes. In my mind, I kept double and triple checking the essentials for the party. Knowing my dad, he invited his business partners and the executives of the Anderson Company to show me off.
Oh, she could fuck him over so easily.
She could.
We've got fish fingers and nothing else. They're not cooked either.
Just frozen fish fingers. Throw them at each other. Chug, chug.
Whoever can down the most fish fingers in 30 seconds shall win a prize.
Vomit is a prize.
Bowel disease.
I stood in front of my mirror in my room, staring at my form, as a million thoughts run through my mind. Damien was getting pretty pissed off, actually.
Yeah, stop shouting. Damien now has anxiety issues.
It's canon. It's done. It's just a housewarming party, but at the same time, it wasn't. It was my chance to show my dad that I was better than his expectations, because I still care what my dad thinks after he was abusive. It really was.
He kicked you out and now he invades your home.
She's used to home invasions at this point.
Yeah.
It was a chance for me to see my parents. For me to see my parents as a woman. What? My parents are all women.
One woman.
Yes, as a woman. It was my test to see if I was ready to live on my own.
With a group.
With a group. And a huge amount of money.
Else. Yeah.
And my parents paying all my bills. Well, not truly alone. I had the incubi to thank, but even so, I didn't have my dad guiding me or my mum helping me through living alone because
they're the money.
Yeah, because of and also they're terrible parents.
Yeah, it's good because they'll just tell you how not to do it.
Yeah, it's true. A knock on my door broke my thoughts, surprising me. I forgot we named her Pika. Pika. Who is it?
Hitler.
Oh, Naomi. Hey, are you in there? Your parents should be here soon. You should hurry getting ready. Well, I'm ready, but... But what? I'm sure you look fine, Anderson. Just come on out. Right.
Ugh.
Soon as I opened the door to the hall, I watched as Naomi's and Suzu's faces turned from smiles to complete awestruck stares. Because she's wearing a dress and has boobs.
A dweth?
A dress? What?
Dweth.
Dude, you look hot. Yeah, you look amazing. Where did you get that dress?
Dress shop.
I've had it for a while, just never had a chance to wear it. I figured I might as well bring it out now.
Suddenly tuxes.
Suddenly tuxes. Well, I suppose they are demons. They can sort of be whatever they want to be.
Presumably. I mean, when we don't know exactly how the canon works in this. I mean, what are the metaphysics like in this in this continuity?
Please no. Please no. I don't need to talk about metaphysics in an Incubus game. I stepped out of my room and closed my bedroom door behind me. As I walked down the hall to the grand lobby, the incubi stood waiting for me at the bottom, all dressed to the nines as proper servants. They're even colour-coded for our convenience.
Yep, in case we can't tell by the different heights and not faces, haircuts.
I can't remember which one of them was the moody fucker and which one was the massive rapist.
The red-haired one was the really creepy one.
Okay.
Which is impressive considering they're all incubi. You've basically got quiet one, rebel, nerd / posh,
rapist.
I was going to go sex offender, just because even if he wasn't an incubi, he probably would be a sex offender.
And child.
Yeah. And the aptly named should not be in this game.
This is true. Yes. Well, they really know how to dress to the well, don't they? Yeah. It's a tux. You can't
do it wrong with a tux.
Exactly. I mean, you can, but only if. Yeah. Anyway, I was slightly taken aback at how great the boys looked in uniform. They're not in a uniform. They're wearing what the fuck they want.
Yeah. There is quite uniform for not a uniform.
Yeah, true. Each had the poise of a perfect gentleman, even Sam. Which one's Sam again? I'm thinking the child.
Who has more the poise of a bad dancer.
I slowly began to climb down the steps with Suzu and Naomi behind me. Boys watched as I descended the staircase one step at a time, like knights waiting for their princess. I felt my face slightly flush, but I quickly shook my head to try and regain my thoughts.
To be honest, considering what knights and princesses actually did, rather than what they're classically portrayed as doing, that's actually a fairly appropriate analogy.
I guess so.
It's kind of, oh look, fresh meat, basically.
Yes.
Fresh meat with which I can gain status.
As I reached the last step, James offered his hand out to me and walked me down that final step, smiling, because I managed all the steps myself, but this last one was tricky.
As beautiful as a princess, miss.
Thank you.
Considering that, princess can look like anything. Are you prepared for tonight? Oh.
To be honest, no. Didn't feel confident at all. Something about tonight frightened me. I couldn't tell if it was the fear of my dad or the guests that Dad surely invited. But something about tonight's party left me beyond nervous. Other boys smiled assuringly at me, even the ones that hated me, which made me feel a little better about everything. I looked at my phone and marked the time. Almost right on cue, the doorbell rang and I gulped.
I assume she's keeping the phone, down the top, because I doubt that dress has pockets.
No, it probably doesn't, but if it does have pockets, man, that is a fucking awesome dress.
A very thin phone as well.
I mean, most phones these days probably are.
Or even thin for that, Jesus, because, for pockets on something that shape. Yeah.
I could practically feel my dad's aura from behind the door, because that's a thing that exists.
I could smell the wanker in the air.
How would we know the difference? She's been surrounded by wanker this whole fucking time.
Yeah, but it's a different flavour of wanker she's used to, so she can discern it.
Sam and Eric quickly rushed to the door and opened the double doors wide to reveal my parents both dressed in their best. Hey, Mum. Hey, Dad. Oh, my! I didn't know your bequeathment came with servants.
Who the fuck says bequeathment in standard conversation? Wouldn't they just say the house?
I don't know. Ask the writers of the game.
Yeah, it's probably overlooked. Besides, who would deny a good service?
I was completely shocked. My parents didn't question the boys. They didn't ask for verification or anything because they don't care about you.
Also, they're, massive classists. So it's kind of, oh, well, they must be servants. They're lower classes and they're here.
I looked at the boys and noticed Sam and Eric staring intently at my parents. Were they using their powers on them?
Oh, God, I hope not.
Oh, God, I hope so. It'd be hilarious. Actually, no, it wouldn't.
No, it just wouldn't.
It just wouldn't, no. It just wouldn't. They had to be. There was no way they'd be okay with this otherwise. I guess the servants counted as belongings to... no!
Oh, yeah, peasants. That are slaves.
Oh.
But basically just said, oh, good, slavery.
It's basically what is counted as belongings to the house. Mother quickly rushed to me and gave me a large hug. I hugged her back, inhaling her perfume. It had only been a couple of days, but living away from the ones who raised me was hard. My mother soon let me go and looked at my outfit. Gorgeous, you look so lovely. David, look at your daughter and tell her I'm right. I looked at my dad, who was looking around the lobby like an inspector. I stood my ground, waiting for him to look at me. When he did, he let a small smile grace his lips.
Your mother's right. You look all grown up. Yes.
The world around me stopped as my heart pounded hard in my chest. Did my dad just compliment me? On his own accord? My mother was grinning ear to ear at his words, and I was beyond speechless. Thank you, Daddy. However, his cold face quickly returned as he began to look around once again.
I assume you're ready then to impress the rest of the guests, correct? I mean, we haven't told you how many are coming, so how exactly you've done the catering should be interesting.
How do you mean?
Oh, dear God. The entire board from Anderson's Toys is going tonight. Even the vice chairman's son will be coming, who I'm definitely not going to try and set you up with. All of them will be measuring your potential.
My potential?
Become a CEO of the company.
I knew it. Something was off about tonight, and now this party had become much more than I anticipated. Look at that face. I have smelled something and I don't like it. More than I anticipated. I gulped slightly, but I nodded in response, looked to the incubi, but they would continue to be servants for my father's approval. I looked behind me and saw Naomi and Suzu raise their thumbs at me for encouragement. I let out a small breath before feeling my body accept the situation. I felt a weight in my gut, but I had to hide it.
Oh man, I'd love to be in this situation just so I can throw muffins at his face.
As if time zoomed forward.
Every time he speaks, he gets hit by a muffin.
Get one of the incubi to do it so they can just wipe his memory or something.
But not the feeling that something horrible happened. So it's weird. It's just like, why are there muffins everywhere? What's happening?
As if time zoomed forward, all of a sudden, the main hall of the lobby was full of guests, men and women in formal... Indeed, rhubarb and crumble. Men and women in formal business attire showed up to meet me and see my new home. I didn't expect many to come, but I was once again surprised that night.
Jolly good nepotism, what?
I shook hands with many officials and executive members, putting on a professional face my dad trained me to have. Felt overwhelmed, but I hid it well behind a small smile and a handshake. How do you do? Many even asked me questions. I tried my best to reply as maturely as possible. I had to remember, say what they want to hear, not what you want to say.
Don't tell the truth. I say, so how do you feel living on your own at such a young age? You know, the age of a student. Would often would be living at their own at university. What?
What? Hang on. What? Was that on a timer?
What? Oh, I think you went backwards. What?
I did. It's been it is on a timer. Pretty good, actually. I'm sorry about your grandfather passing away. Hit all of us hard. Thank you for your condolences. Fucking hell.
Do you have any college plans?
There's a possibility. I feel like the questions came up one after another. It was tough to answer some of them because they weren't actually about me. They were about the company. Oh,
what do you think will happen with the company now your grandfather's passed?
Depends on who runs it, I guess.
What do you think of the philanthropic policy the company has?
I'd be more concerned with policy that reflects my own values. Fine, fuck it.
What is your quest? What do you think the company should expand from just
It's a toy company. Why? Fuck it, I don't care. Eventually the questions stopped and I was back to being myself. Naomi and Susie were mingling in the crowds and the incubi were doing their jobs, so I was all alone in a room full of strangers. It was unnerving to think about, but at least I wasn't being questioned left and right anymore. Suddenly, though, my mum pushed her way through a crowd to me, bringing along someone I don't know. Honey, I'd like to introduce you to someone. This kind gentleman is the son of the vice chairman.
Oh, God. I'm drunk.
I'm drunk and or high.
You never know, that might mean he's actually quite fun.
Yeah, probably.
That's the twist. He's not stuck up at all. He's actually just really laid back.
Okay. With my mother stood a man who looked only a couple of years older than me. He smiled and held out his hand to me, silently asking for my hand.
Oh, I'm Andrew Lewis. Pleasure to meet you, Mrs. Anderson. Mrs. Patterson.
Place your hand in his because...
Don't leave him hanging.
It's not... You know, don't have to be a dick about it. So place my hand in his. He raised it to his lip.
There.
And kissed over my knuckles. I felt my face burn slightly at the gesture, but Andrew smiled at me before releasing my hand.
I'm honoured to be invited here.
My mother smiled at both of us, which made me slightly concerned. Why was she excited to introduce me to Andrew? It's
for the reasons I stated previously. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, that face!
Oh.
Ah.
And look at her face, it's like, shit.
But his face, it's the face of someone who sat in a warm apple pie by mistake and then realised, oh, this isn't so bad.
That's an apt description. For those of you who are listening to this as a podcast, that is exactly what that looks like. It's like slowly, oh shit.
The organisers passed very well, Miss Anderson.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Praise is very much deserved.
Andrew then chuckled nervously, bringing a soft fist to his lips to colour his laugh properly, before smiling at me.
I'm sorry if I seem a bit forward. Compared to people we've known that we live here, I'm not forward. I've been excited to meet Howard Anderson's granddaughter.
Why? Why? Here's a good question.
Why, you freak? He used to talk about you all the time in the office on how you helped him refine his toys. I only attended meetings and heard all the stories. You've helped a lot with the success of the company, but I haven't actually worked there. Ha. This sounds like unpaid labour to me, but okay.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, I guess she's been totally paid at this point.
Oh, that's true, but, you know, he had to die first.
Yeah. I didn't know he'd talked about me. I would explain everyone's fascination with me in their rather personal questions. I looked at Andrew, who had a kind face. Something about him seemed off. I didn't know what it was. He seemed to be
wearing a mask.
He seemed to be hiding something. Whether it's good or bad, I wasn't able to find out. However, I do have an incubus that can read minds. I felt someone walk up beside me, causing me to turn to them. Next to me was my dad, giving his cold stare to Andrew, who suddenly became tense.
Oh shit!
That
wasn't apple. That wasn't apple pie.
That was shit.
So, you're Jared's son.
Andrew's body twitched slightly, whether it was fear or insult. Andrew locked eyes with my father. Couldn't help but feel the tension between them. It irked me how fragile the air had become, enough to break at the wrong word.
Gets hit by a muffin. Oh, sorry, I thought that said Mrs. for some reason. Not Mr. So you're the one who wants to be the next CEO of the Anderson Company. Well.
I stared at Andrew. This guy wanted to take my grandfather's place as CEO. I thought the vice chairman wanted the position. That's how nepotism works, darling.
Yeah.
David, leave the poor boy alone.
I'm merely testing the boy's conversational skills. Nothing wrong with that. Of course not. Polite as well. Interesting. If you'll excuse me.
Oh, God, please
I need to
excuse him.
change my trousers.
Quickly, Andrew retreated away from my family into the crowd of people.
Flee!
I don't want to follow him, though.
Yeah, can we just follow someone else?
Can we just go to someone more interesting who's not a rapist?
Yeah. I don't think those are in the game.
Stay put. I watched as he disappeared into the crowd towards the back of the house. I was worried, but gave him his space. He obviously needed it. And I didn't need another love triangle in this bitch.
Triangle?
Okay, it's a dodecahedron at this point, but what's the point?
Just gonna roll the dice. Let's see what happens. Puh, he's not CEO material. Nowhere near up his own arse enough.
That's because you practically interrogated the young man by asking him a question.
Face. Oh, that's the face. That's the face of snark.
Yeah,
that's
that is. I do like that face. Although practically interrogating the young man was. So you want to be the CEO, do you?
Yes.
Yes. That's not an interrogation. That's asking a single question.
A little questioning shouldn't have bothered him. He's obviously not ready for any title in our company.
I bit my tongue. I didn't want to make a scene with my dad. One wrong word and he'd lecture me in front of everyone. And that was not something I wanted at my housewarming party.
There are muffins at him. So he leaves.
I let out a sigh before looking at the clock. It was getting close to midnight, meaning the party was going to end soon. I lowered my gaze.
Yet. Where's the food?
Not allowed food.
There was a whole thing about sorting out catering.
You've got to catch the muffins as they go across the room. That's the food.
Who got a muffin can? You know those machines that fire tennis balls?
Yeah.
One of those filled with muffins.
Oh, fuck. Oh, I lowered my gaze out the window and saw a limo pull up. Huh. Whose limo is that?
Oh, that must be Lewis's car.
I'll go get him. Stay with your father so you can escort your guests out together.
It's going to be an old man with a moustache.
Yes, Mum.
I used to be the mayor of a small town.
My mother left my dad and me to slowly escort the guests out. My dad held his simple smile as he thanked each person for coming. I did the same. Andrew quickly passed the doors before I could speak. Eventually, only Suzu, Naomi, my parents, and the incubi were left. My dad suddenly walked over and placed a hand on my shoulder with a smile. He found the muffins. I stared up at him, a wave of confusion washing over my face. What?
Why are there so many muffins here? You did good tonight. I'm proud.
Oh.
Big bite out of a muffin.
I guess thank you, Dad. Don't really need your approval, but all right.
Keep it up and you'll be a good CEO.
All right.
All right.
Achievement unlocked. Dad approves.
All right. Your mother and I have to leave. I'm sure Naomi and Suzu need to leave as well. Just because it's Saturday doesn't mean you should stay up all night.
No, but it does mean they can stay over in my giant castle.
Yeah. Also, just because it doesn't have to stay up all night doesn't mean you can't.
Yeah, that's true. That's what holidays and weekends are for. All right. Thanks for coming. Thanks for having us. It was a great party. We'll come tomorrow or visit something, all right? All right. See ya. Good night, sweetie. Come visit us soon. Will do. All four of my remaining guests left the building, all but my dad waving back to me. The last of the guests gone, I sighed and sat on the staircase, exhausted.
Just utterly deflated and eating a muffin.
Oh, that was tiring.
Damn it, which one's talking? That one. Oh, it's not like you had to do any work, though. You had to give her a break, man. She was getting interrogated left and right occasionally. She handled herself the best she could. Oh, as expected, princess. Yeah, since you're exhausted, why don't you head to bed? We can clean up.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Ugh. Hush, Sam.
Shut up, Sam. You guys sure?
Positive. It shouldn't take long. Magic and shit. Oh, wow.
Oh.
Ho, ho, ho.
I'm Santa, bitches!
Ho, ho, ho. It didn't take long to find you little shits after all. I'm Santa.
A hot shudder running down my spine. Voice from my dreams echoed through the airs into my ears. Looked around, panicked. Alongside the incubi, James placed a hand on my shoulder, trying to remain calm.
Don't worry, no one will hurt you. Are you sure? Are you really sure? She could be on the naughty list.
All of us shot our heads towards the door, finally pinning down the direction of the voice, because we don't have any real sense of direction. Doors quickly swung open, because all that was said whilst he was outside, revealing a sight...
The letterbox. He opened up the letterbox and was shouting through it. Hello! I'm Santa!
I have a magic key! Revealing
You didn't lock your door!
The doors quickly swung open, revealing a sight I would never have expected to see.
Santa. Oh, his beard fell off. Oh, well.
Skin red as blood, eyes black and gold piercing into
t-shirt.
Oh, fuck.
Leather jacket, t-shirt with a skull on it, bandana around his neck. Oh, look at me, I'm edgy.
Look at me, I also have weird shading on my face. Black eyes, black and gold piercing into mine, roughened up clothes and a pistol in his hand. I saw a monster.
Ho, 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 you fucks!
Here's my head bitch too. Cover my mouth not to scream at the sight. Dried blood covered the bandana around his neck as he smirked at me and the boys around me. Beside the red-skinned man, there was a similar-looking woman in matching thug-like clothes.
Judgy. Ah, what's the matter, boys? You really didn't think I wouldn't find you, did you? I know when you're sleeping. No, I hoped you would, you piece of murder.
All of a sudden, the man raised a gun at Sam's face and instantly pulled the trigger.
Naughty!
We all gasped in shock, instinctively expecting to see a bullet run through Sam's face, but...
Muffin! What? What the fuck?
Where did that muffin come from? Who's got a fucking muffin cannon?
What?
Should have been a headshot, ended with a loud and empty blank shot. Pistol echoed its empty shots as the man grew more and more pissed, pulling the trigger over and over in aggravation.
I don't know if it's a demon fight and he just bought a gun.
To be fair, that seems reasonable.
That is how most games of stuff like Vampire the Masquerade go, to be fair.
Yeah, it's just sort of like, bitches,
What?
I have a gun.
Well, we've got all these magical powers. Yes, well, I bought a gun.
Oh, that's going to hurt. Won't kill me, but it will hurt.
You won't kill me, but it'll do everything else.
Yes, I will just wish I was dead. Luckily for my ears, it became quieter after its first shot.
Why the fuck won't you work?
Oh, they're
Fucking
incubi.
elves! Why has it got Nerf written on it? This place is protected. What did you say, shrimp? This place has a seal protecting it from hellborn magic
Like
and
guns.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
The man growled and threw his gun at Sam, who was able to dodge it in time. The pistol bounced off the ground a couple of times before sliding further away, hitting the wall in the final stop. As it stopped moving, the gun faded into black flame that disappeared into the air. Ah, magic guns.
Oh, so it would a real gun work?
I don't know, maybe.
Previous owner had this place protected by magic, Malik. Santa.
Oh. Malik, Santa, that was his name. His existence resonated in my memory from a dream I had. And somewhere else. Holidays are coming.
Holidays are coming!
However, I looked to Matthew in the same confusion as Malik did. Place is protected by magic.
It would seem your grandfather had some sort of protective barrier around the house for no discernible reason. From the looks of it, it only disables hellborn magic.
Right.
Was he just really Christian?
Possibly. Malik's face grew to that of extreme anger, his fist tightening as if he was crushing a stress ball.
Bah! Then what's stopping me from dragging your asses out and shooting you then?
Out of pure instinct, I stepped forward and placed myself between Malik's and the boys. With no power, Malik's wasn't going to fight. I took the chance to stand up to him instead of being powerless like I was in the dream. Get out of my house.
Get out of my house.
Malik's growled at me, walking right up to me and leaning close to my face. I glared back, feeling my courage skyrocket.
Since when does a little stain like you give orders to a guy who can rip your pretty little head from your body and replace it with a piece of coal?
You really don't think, do you? If you kill me, you'll be hunted down by more than just the police.
You little...
On the naughty list. Run.
You little duck. What?
All of a sudden, I felt a hand grip my hair and pull it back, forcing me to cry out and stare up at Malik's. His eyes bored into mine as he crackled in my face. I don't know. No, it's ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho! You shit! I can't remember which one Sam was, so just, hi, there you go! Sam! Eric! That does sound like a cartoon, Sam and Eric.
Yeah.
I don't think it is, but it sounds like one.
It's like Sam and Max, but...
Yeah.
Sam and Matt would be a cartoon.
I know, it'd just be a shitter version of Sam and Max, to be honest. Sam and Matt, right?
Right, we're okay.
Right, we solve mysteries occasionally. By occasionally, I mean, I'm a police officer. Well, actually, I'm a community support officer. And it's just, you know, just go for the least sexy version of it, basically.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Sam and Max isn't particularly sexy at the best of times.
You know, kind of fighting crime kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, fair.
Private detectives. You got detectives, inspectors, and just, yeah, I'm a community support officer.
Within mere seconds, Sam had punched Malik square in the jaw, forcing him to let my hair go. As I fumbled back, Eric caught me in his arms, gently pulling me away from Malik's and back in their group.
Ah, come on, Sam. You and me, right here. Let's go.